Bonus Bucks is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com.
Like, hello?
Hello, 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 hello. Okay, hold on.
Couple 13, 14 pastime comedies tend to be. I love this. Just this real quick before we move into 5, 3, 4. There's this. There are some people that just won't give it up. Sam Darnold admitted in a pregame interview with Kurt Warner that Seattle's defense was so good they didn't have to take chances that could potentially result in turnovers. He's a smart guy that has learned as he came along, but not a franchise quarterback. They don't want to admit this because they don't want to admit the Vikings let go of a franchise quarterback. It's one of the worst quarterback personnel decisions ever made in the history of pro football. Just admit your team screwed up. It's not the end of the world. We still have, hopefully, our franchise quarterback and the young kid McCarthy. Free agency comes. We can grab somebody else, maybe Kirk Cousins, maybe Aaron Rodgers. It's not over. They should not have let him leave the building. Just, it's okay to admit that. Is he the best quarterback in pro football? No. And if you've been paying attention to Darnold, he's been very humble this entire time. They ask him all the time, what happened? Just kept believing in myself, kept working. If you've watched any of their games this season, he has made big time in postseason. He's made against the Rams. He almost single-handedly defeated him with his quarterback play. What more do you want from him? He completed almost 60 or 70% of his passes against the Rams. He threw for 3 touchdowns and for over 300 yards and didn't turn the ball over. What do you want from him? Just admit it. Your guy screwed up. They let the quarterback leave the building and they made a decision. It didn't work out. Life goes on.
I thought a big game win would end this debate, but apparently it keeps going.
It's because you don't want to admit that they let him go.
I thought it was checkmate.
I would have thought so too, but apparently not. But I just find it humorous. You're not going to get. By
the way, you know who said a top 5 defense this year? The Vikings.
Yes, they did.
How'd that go for them?
Yes, that's exactly right. And that's where the hope is. We'll talk about that too, is because we saw both those teams. Especially Seattle, if you have a really good defense, a good running game, good offensive line, a quarterback that can make the throws when needed, in a decent running game, you're going to win a lot of games. And the Vikings have part of that. They have the defense. I don't know if they can get the rest. 5, 3, 4.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the welfare of the Wolves.
This could take a long time.
2 nights after Rudy Gobert called out his teammates for a lack of effort on defense, the Wolves lost to the LA Clippers 115-96 yesterday at Target Center. The Wolves lost for the 3rd time in 4 games. Kawhi Leonard scored 41 points for LA. Anthony Edwards scored 23 points, but just on 7 of 18 shooting and just 1 for 8 from three-point range. He also had 5 turnovers. Julius Randle's just had 17 points and 6 of 14 shooting. Jaden McDaniels just had 2 points, while Dante DiVincenzo had 1 point on 3 shot attempts. Common, what sticks out to you from the Wolves' loss to L.A.?
Nothing different than I've been saying all year without ever watching. That's why. Here's another vindicated again. I get ripped by people. You don't even watch the Wolves. How can you tell us? How do you know what's going on? I summed it up perfectly. This last 2 games is what I've been saying all season long. They play when they want to play. It's the Randy Moss thing. They have no respect for the ticket buyer in any way, shape, or form. Why would you? Guaranteed contract, $200 million, $100 million, whatever. You don't have to. Edwards himself admitted, well, when I really want to play, but I just can't get myself to do that all the time to play defensively. They know they're going to make the playoffs. They don't care if they're the top seed or the 6th seed. It doesn't matter to them or anywhere in between. I don't know why fans continue to attack me as if I don't know what I'm talking. You wanted me to? We're going to get to the Gobert quotes. Oh, trust me, I've got them. And I've got the quotes from last night's game or yesterday afternoon's game. It's like I don't understand how people support that club financially. And why you just don't wait for postseason play. It's unprofessional. And you can tell me it happens all over the league, and maybe it does. I don't care about the rest. I don't care what they do in San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Los Angeles, Boston. We're talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it's awful. That's what it is. It's an embarrassment is what it is. Sorry to get worked up. I've got a really good sweet potato beef and avocado dish I'm about to eat right now. That's where my focus is.
Question number 2. It's time now for the lowdown in Dinky Town.
Same old for your Minnesota Gophers. Maryland scored the game's final 7 points in a 67-62 victory over the Gophers men's basketball team yesterday at the Barn. David Coit hit a go-ahead three-pointer with 26 seconds left for the Terrapins. It's the Gophers' 8th loss in 9 games, and all 8 losses have been close in the second half. Common, your thoughts?
Well, it's unfortunate because they had just come off beating number 10 Michigan State, a game where they tried to give it away at the end. I mean, Michigan State made a furious late second half rally and almost stole the game from them. But they had 3 wins against ranked clubs, and the Michigan State game was a really that's an impressive win against a team that was 19-3, number 10 in the country. Esteemed columnist, Fish Trap Factory West Side, Jim Suhan spelled it out pretty well, I thought. You win that game against Maryland, who's just an ordinary team at best. You're at home. The way the rest of the schedule plays out, you got a couple of tough games in the Big Ten, but the rest is against just other teams that are about where you are, maybe a little better, maybe a little worse. You go on a nice roll, maybe you sneak in as an at-large bid, but that's not a good. And it's, I didn't see it, so I don't know if there were coaching mishaps, but I think most of it's probably you've got some talent on that team, maybe not a ton, and and I don't know how young they are because I think they got some veteran guys that have played a few years, so they're just an okay club. I was hoping I was hoping that the way they started out with those 3 victories over the ranked teams, you thought maybe this team can gel fairly quickly, and with the coach, he's highly regarded coming here. He's the basketball version of PJ Fleck. Everywhere he's coached, he's won. Google him, you'll find out. And so that was a tough loss. That was one you really and I guess I thought they would win, and I guess I was sorely mistaken.
Question number 3.
It's time now for What's Your Rank? A 10 hut!
USA Today ad meter ranked all 54 big game commercials. They have Budweiser's American Icons ranked number 1.
Oh,
Lay's,
is that the one where the
eagle? Yeah, the baby eagle.
That was maybe the cheesiest one.
Well, it's Budweiser, yeah. Number 2, they have Lay's Last Harvest. Number 3, they have Pepsi's The Choice. Number 4, Dunkin's Goodwill Dunkin'. And number 5, Michelob Ultra's The Ultra Instructor. Common, do you agree with the big game commercial rankings, and which was your favorite ad? Or were you not silent during these and you have people talking to you?
I got to admit, I watched them a little bit, but I wasn't intently watching them. I thought, I guess I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember any commercials other than And I saw the one with the bird and the horse ahead of time.
Oh, you'd seen that ahead of time?
I just kind of rolled my eyes and thought. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I didn't watch close enough. I didn't. So I can't tell. How about you?
I've got kids watching with me as well, so it's not like I'm intimately watching every commercial. I just think in general, I don't know, maybe it's just because we put some more attention on these commercials now. I feel like it's just way different than the last 20, 25 years. Like they all used to be like kind of like goofy and silly and funny, and now they're trying to be more serious half the time, or maybe they're not trying to be as offensive. I don't know. Well, the vibe has shifted.
Well, they had the really heavy one where they had kid at school, Jewish kid.
Yes.
And then the African-American guy said, I understand. I've been through that too. They go from that heavy commercial like that, well done, to talking toilets right after. I guess it was a heavy mood. They want to lighten it up a little bit, so then they put in talking. I guess I like talking toilets.
You've talked toilets on this show before.
Yes, I have. Turlet talk. So I guess I take that back. I still don't even remember what they were advertising on the talking turlets. But whatever it was. But whatever it is, I think I like talking turlets the best. Was probably the commercial I like. Because it was wacky.
That's it for today's edition of 5 questions.
Very power trip morning.
Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Okay. Your team isn't playing right now. They're off until when?
We have like 3 weeks off to the Olympics.
All right.
Now, the women's Olympic team is about to play here in about a half hour.
Okay. And
the men haven't started yet.
And who do we face?
They play Switzerland. They're 2-0 so far.
Ooh. What's our record?
I just said we're 2-0 so far.
What is Switzerland? Not that you mean Switzerland.
I'm not sure. Other than Canada, like nobody's giving women competition.
Very good.
It's just not going to happen.
We'll pause. We'll come back with a little Distat Lat. That's 534 in the Fan.
The Fan wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword GOLD at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is GOLD. Enter now at KFAN.com. We all that one teacher who believed in us. Well, show your gratitude with Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominated public school teacher to win $5,000 for their classroom. This week, we want to give a shout out to Emily Larson, who teaches at Stillwater Area High School. Nominated teacher to thank today at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Couple 13-14 pastime common. He's 10 to be. Your soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Timberwolves. Most recently, I think they won 5 in a row. Then they lost 4 or 5 in a row. Then won 4 or 5 in a row. And then they lost back-to-back games in their last 2. They lost to 2 games ago. Who did they lose to 2 games ago? Was that Memphis they lost to? It's Rudy Gobert after that loss.
They lost to New Orleans Friday night.
Or it's the Pelicans.
Memphis, they lost to last Monday.
Okay. Who did they lose to yesterday?
LA Clippers.
Clips. So you said what? I'm sorry. You said who they lost to who on Friday?
New Orleans.
New Orleans lost to the Pelicans. Rudy Gobert was none too happy. 119-115 loss. The Ford. This is Chris Hine, Fish Wrap West Side. He writes. He's beat writer for the Timberwolves for the Fish Wrap West Side. The 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year pleaded for accountability. Same players need to be benched if they don't give their all on defense. Hallelujah. When I say that, I get ripped. Are people going to criticize the 4-time, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4-time Defensive Player of the Year? Is it okay because he said it? Here's what he said. By the way, after being up 18 points in the third quarter, the Wolves relaxed, played with little effort, especially on defense, and gave up the game to one of the worst teams in the league. The Wolves relaxed, played with little effort. The one thing you can absolutely positively control, absolutely 100% control the effort you give, especially on defense, and they gave up the game to one of the worst teams in the league. Here's what Gobert said. Just no effort. I wish I had he's from France, right? I wish I had a French accent. Oui. Vive la France.
Croissant.
There's just no effort. We've seen that many, many times this year. Last few years since I've been here. So this isn't something new, by the way. We always know it's coming. When it comes, there's no sense of urgency, no accountability. So I think at some point, if the players don't have accountability, someone has to have accountability for the players. Hein writes, this led to a discussion with Gobert about the accountability. Should it come from the players themselves, from the coaches to the players? Gobert said that perhaps Finn should start benching players who aren't showing that effort on the defense. Is any other team in the league talking about benching their players? Gobert said that perhaps Finn should start benching players who aren't showing that effort on the defensive end of the floor, regardless of their stature on the team or how many minutes they are accustomed to playing. Here's what he said. It should start with ourselves, but it seems like we don't have that, so I think at some point from the coaches, it's not an easy position for a coach to take guys out of the game. It's not something that you want to do, but I think if the players don't show any effort at some point, no matter how talented we are as a team, if you don't have that, you just can't be a winning team. Story goes on to say nobody should be spared from hitting the bench, Gobert said. Not himself, not anyone, regardless of stature on the team. As for who Gobert might be referring to, he didn't name names, but it's not hard to parse that he was including Anthony Edwards, the guy that can do no wrong in this town, that I've been accused of letting him live rent-free in my head because I don't just give him a free pass because he's such a bubbly kid and he's so friendly and he is good. He's a terrific player when he wants to play. Randy Moss was always accused of not playing. Remember when remember when he walked off the field with 2 seconds remaining in a game and he just got destroyed? And I stuck up for him in that case. I thought nothing was going to happen in the last 2 seconds.
I destroyed him.
I know you did. Most people did. I did not. I said 2 seconds to go in the game. It's okay. They weren't going to win the game with 2 seconds to go. But all things considered, you shouldn't walk off the court. But he said, I play when I want to play. He didn't name names. It's not hard to parse. He was including Anthony Edwards and Julius Edwards. He says, it starts with me, so he's throwing himself under the bus a little bit too. If I'm not showing effort, bench me. Take me out of the game. Everybody else will follow. Our best players, leaders, if we don't show any effort, it doesn't matter if you score 50, we're not going to win. There's only one guy capable of scoring 50 on the team. That would be Anthony Edwards, so that's who he's talking about. At some point, if we're not mature enough to have that accountability to ourselves, that might be a solution. And I guarantee you when we come back onto the court, will show effort. As Gobert stated, when the Wolves play defense, they tend to win. He says, it's insane how when we just do that, we win every night. Now, remember, I'll go. This quote was included in this story, a quote that I have hung on to for about a week and a half now. Remember when Edwards said this? Like, if I'm guarding at a high level, I think everybody's going to do it. So I just got to make my mind up and choose to do it, which is, like I said, it's always tough to make up his mind. Think about it. It rattles around in his head. Should I really try hard on defense tonight or shouldn't I? Boy, it's a hard decision to make. Let me just dog it up and down the court for a quarter and a half before I decide if I want to. Why do people defend? Why aren't fans more outraged like I am? And here's what's crazy. The fans care more than I do. I explained this to a friend of mine who sends me a text occasionally when we go back and forth. They go, it's all good. It's all entertainment. And I go, well, yeah. I mean, this is what I do for a living. I'm supposed to offer opinions and insight, always, on what I see that happens or hear or read about that happens. And so I do. So I have to, for me personally, I was rooting for the Lions to go 0-16 because it doesn't matter to me, right? But I still, as my job, there are most of the people listening to this radio station care a lot about the local teams. They want to win, and they want to win now. And I just get so much, I say, don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. So, and then Gobert went on to say, no one should get a pass for not playing defense because guys are too talented nowadays. We play for championship. If we're tired, we should ask for a sub. And if you have the energy to play, you should put the effort forward. I just love it. Just love it. Now, somebody said Gobert's been getting destroyed by everyone from Mike Malone and all the TV idiots. The NBA is a country club. I think it is. If that's the right definition. It's the guaranteed money, and it's the idolization and pedestalization.
Do you think all the rumors swirling around at the trade deadline regarding Giannis, I guess we won't know until this 2-game stretch turns into, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. But you had a bunch of big-time players in that locker room that thought they were heading out of town. Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, maybe Naz Reid. You think that maybe there was just hearing your names when you're a big contributor to the team being thrown out like that, if it has any impact on the team chemistry and the locker room and how you feel about the organization? Just throwing it out there.
Could be. That's been going on since Naismith first threw up the bat. Ever since they've been free. I mean, that's just
this one just seemed to be a little bit more really big names being thrown out as you could be leaving.
Maybe part of that's to light a fire under him. Because this recent not playing.
Well, Jaden McDaniels had 2 points the other night.
This not playing defense didn't just happen that last game we're talking about.
Sure.
This has been going on. Gobert's has been going on for years around here. I don't know.
But it's to the point now where it's being vocalized, right? Like nobody's called out the defense like Gobert is right now. Right.
And they need to. So in their latest loss yesterday, here's what's Rhett wrote. This is Chris Hine again. Lackadaisical Timberwolves pummeled by Clippers. Well, let's get to this. That was 2 games ago. We'll talk about yesterday's game. Look at the game and some of the quotes that came out of the locker room after that. Pathetic effort. We'll do that on the other side of the break. It's a Common Man program here on the Fan.
There's nothing like live hockey. Experience Minnesota Wild action at Grand Casino Arena all season long. Secure your seats now at wild.com/tickets and join the excitement.
Too much love covenant coming into the Common Man program at booth at KFAN.com. And I know they're just trying to get me going. But I'll read them anyways because I love them. It says, calm down, morale drain. I'm the morale drain? Young man, I've done things that would make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. Have you read the Constitution? Whoops, wrong one. Here it is. Hi, Common, but yet you still keep talking about the NBA, blah, blah, blah. I have to. What do you want me to talk about? I can't talk about my golf game because right now the golf courses aren't open. Trust me. And they could soon, Tim. You see that forecast? We've got 30s, 40s, if you believe it. I know it changes on a hourly basis. It's supposed to be mid-50s by this time next week.
We're coming. We're coming.
You know how the Wolves are, yet you get so disgruntled, Common, LOL. Well, yeah. If your children keep misbehaving, just go, well, that's just the way they are. I guess I'll let them tear the house apart. You start to put your foot down. And plus, I said before, it's just, I think everybody knows. Maybe they don't know now. By the way, I want to welcome all of our new listeners at KWMN, the Fan Winona 93.3. Real sports for sports experts. I don't care, but it's my job to care. I told you. Here's a text I sent to one of my friends.
By the way, did you say it was 93.3?
Yeah.
I think that's what my boss had told me earlier, but if you Google it, it's 99.3.
Oh. Yeah.
So I don't want to get
Nice of him to know.
Yeah.
Nice of the program director to know. 99.3. Here's what this was a conversation I had with a golfing pal, basketball buddy, blah, blah, blah. He sent me a text message that said, I said last night, they had Sam in the building. 9:31, I sent that. They had Darnold in the building. He says, all good, it's entertainment. And then I texted back, but it's more entertaining when your team is winning. And he came back, this was a great comeback. Unless you're a guy from Detroit who has embraced the losing and gets just as much amusement from epic failures, colossal collapses, and winless seasons, which I do. But then I texted back, right, but my job is to provide observations, insight, and I have IELTO in parentheses, and opinions on the day's sports news to a customer base that mostly are hardcore sports fans who take the wins and losses, the highs and lows, the historically good and the biblically bad seriously. So that's what I do. My guess is a plumber doesn't really care if your shower stall is draining properly, but it's his job to fix it. Common just has an unusual approach. For instance, Common has watched a total of 4 minutes of Wolves basketball this year, yet he's analyzed the club better all season long than most other observers. How does he do it? It's called the esoteric approach. I mean, it's as simple as that. So, what I'm surprised, there's not more people. There are some people rallying to that go get him, Common. You're absolutely right. But there are others that want to defend him, or maybe they're just trying to get me going. I'm not sure which one it is. See if I have.
Could Sam Darnold, by the way, be the Vikings version of David Ortiz?
It could be.
We had him in the building.
Yes.
We let him go, and then he goes elsewhere and wins world championships. Maybe Darnold's a Hall of Famer by the time this is all done with.
You could make that argument. So that was Friday night. Wolves have Saturday off. Well, they actually took Friday off, at least one end of the floor. But apparently they were rewarded by getting an entire day off Saturday. Then they played a matinee yesterday. Chris Hine, Fish Wrap Factory, West Side, Wolves. Lackadaisical Timberwolves pummeled by Clippers 115-96. Wolves didn't appear engaged at either end of the floor and lost for the third time in 4 games. Here's what he writes. The Timberwolves look broken from a basketball perspective and broken in terms of their spirit. The Wolves just don't look like they enjoy playing basketball. Kids game, millions of dollars, guaranteed contract, 3 days a week, 6 months out of the year. And that's been the case for much of the last 6 weeks. Each time it looks like they snap out of a funk, they go right back into one. It's not just that they're losing, it's how they look doing it. Lifeless, little energy, little desire to find a solution to their problems. Imagine if you own a company and that was what your employee base was doing. How long would they hang around? But these guys got guaranteed deals. They know there's nothing you can do. Any guy that gets a guaranteed deal, regardless of the sport, can sign it, turn it around, and push it back at the general manager and go, guess what? I'm not going to try anymore. There's nothing you can do about it because I got a guaranteed deal. I'll play when I want to play. And you know what? I just didn't feel like playing the defensive end of the floor this time. Just didn't want to do it. That's matinee game. I have no interest. I want to get home and watch the big game. And it doesn't matter. We're going to make the playoffs anyways. And, I guess maybe they're right. They probably are right. But did people actually pay for tickets yesterday and watch that game? They're kind of expensive too, aren't they? Or are they giving them away now? Or did you find them on your dashboard after somebody broke your driver's side window and left them there? Both ends of the floor were a problem against the Clippers. So not only were they not playing defense, either they decided not to play offense or they just didn't have their game. Harden was gone. Zubac was gone. It didn't matter. With Leonard going for 41 points while Edwards and Randall bogged down on isolation, heavy Wolves offense. Hero ball. Dribble,
Ball getting sticky.
shoot. Dribble, shoot. Edwards was 7 for 18, 1 for 8 from three-point range. You know how I've been a big fan of Wild hockey fans during the power play yelling, shoot. Yeah. I'd be yelling at Edwards, don't shoot,
Pass.
pass. He had 23, 5 turnovers. Randall had 17 points. Jaden McDaniels, remember I said I thought Jaden McDaniels was almost, can't touch that?
Yeah.
He had 2 points. DiVincenzo had 1 point in 3 shot attempts. I don't know if that's because he didn't want to shoot or if he only touched the ball 3 times because of the dribble by others on the team shoot. Their outputs are a stark indicator at the lack of ball movement the Wolves have now since they thrive off that. Chris Finch said they've lost their structure. The knee-jerk reaction from a frustrated fan base is to ask for a change at head coach.
Huh?
Isn't there a saying about throwing the baby out with the bathwater? It's the head coach. Oh, I see. So you just pick a fall guy. That's how you do it.
I heard it discussed in these offices earlier today, discussing whether Finch should be fired.
Well, who was saying that? Can you name names?
I don't remember. When the Power Trip is done with their show, There's like 8 of them that are in Abbott's office. I don't remember who said what.
Only 8? Is Monday kind of a slow day?
Like Lil B's always in there. Halvey's in there.
Is 8 kind of a slow day for contributors? Because usually they have 13, 14 on their show.
Well, the fire department only allows a certain amount of people in the office. There's
and Hein brings up in here, remember, just before the trade deadline, the GM said, we got a puncher's chance to win a championship. Here's what Edwards said. The players who spoke after the game said the Wolves have done a good job in navigating these tough times of the season as a group, even after Gobert poured on some candid thoughts after Friday's loss. Edwards said, I think we talked to each other. We're pretty good with that. Added Randall, it's been good. We respond, like I said, pretty well. Not really much that's said, but we understand as a team what we need to do. Then I don't know why they're not doing it. Do you think they were mad at Gobert? Do you think that's what it was? Oh, you think we weren't trying before, now they're mad at Gobert? So they're not trying at all? Because Gobert's comments came after the Friday game where he basically called out the team and maybe they didn't like that.
Well, they obviously didn't respond to it.
No, they sure didn't. And then the new guy from Chicago, here's what it says. The crowd gave a standing ovation to new acquisition Ayo. Why did they give him a stand? He didn't do anything yet at that point. Boy, this Wolves crowd's easy to please.
But they're just welcoming him to town.
I guess.
Letting him know we're on it. I mean, the Wild did the same thing with Quinn Hughes.
Did they?
Yeah. And rightfully so. We want him to stay here. Hopefully he enjoys it here.
I didn't get a standing ovation when I first started at the Fan.
Are you comparing yourself to Quinn Hughes?
I'd won Associated Press Small Market Newscaster of the Year award in 1991. It's not actually small market. It's news departments of 2 or fewer. Guess how many were in mine? Fewer. It was me. I was the news department. There you go. So there's your club. And then I get the text message is you're never hard on the Wild. I don't think for the Wild it's a lack of effort. Maybe occasionally it's been. I don't know. Do you think the Wild lack effort?
Hockey's a sport where it's kind of hard.
That's what I thought.
To not have effort.
Yeah.
I guess there's different levels of effort. I think it's more of different levels of what you're willing to put your body through and sacrificing your body. But it's hard to go out there and just coast because you will get hurt.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But this one says it's a two-way street. Gobert needs to step up offensively or sit. Well,
that ain't going to happen.
Well, and you can make that argument that he doesn't contribute as much offensively as he probably should. But he is the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think you want to take him off the floor. That would be cutting off your nose to spite your face. That's an old cliche. There's a reason cliches are cliches because they're generally true. You're not going to.
Well, and Rudy Gobert stepping up to play offense, it's probably not an effort thing with him. It's not like he's not scoring because he's not providing enough effort on the offensive end. He's just not good enough.
Yeah, that's part
he's
of it.
He's not talented enough to do that aspect of the game.
That's exactly what the case may be. So, USA versus, is that Switzerland?
Switzerland, yeah.
And a women's. We're just underway. 16-10 to go first period. There is no score. They've each had 3 shots. Shoot! They've each had 3 shots on goal. And did I see that our mixed doubles curling team, the young lady, she's from Team Peterson, right?
Yes.
They advanced, right? So they're guaranteed a silver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because they were in the semis against Italy, who they'd previously lost to, which is why they were the 3 seed and Italy was the 2 seed. But it was a fantastic match. Obviously, the second half of the match was happening while we were on the air. You might have noticed I was distracted a little bit.
You've been distracted here, too, because you're a hockey guy.
Well, I'm
That's
listening.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you are.
Yeah. But the match was fantastic. It came down basically to the last throw from USA. They had to knock one of Italy's stones out that would leave theirs so that they have 2 points in the middle, and they hit it.
And they did it.
So they advanced, and so now they're in the ship against Sweden, who was the 4 seed. They're the 3 seed, and now they're guaranteed a gold or a silver.
Do you think any of the curlers are going to go, I just don't feel like playing that hard today? I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to give it everything they've got. So we'll see.
Well, and with that mixed doubles, right, it's not like Team Peterson where Tabitha will throw the stone, will throw the rock down, and then the rest of them will do the sweeping.
Yeah.
Like in the mixed doubles, the one who's throwing the stone has to sweep their own, so they got to hustle right down right after.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It looks like a lot of work.
Yeah,
I don't know how they don't ever hit the stone while they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because they're basically surrounding both. You got the brush on one side and your feet on the other side.
So did you say we have 2 golds, United States? We have the one
Just 2 golds,
there's one in downhill skiing of some sort. I don't know what it was.
It's alpine?
Alpine skiing. That's the breezy. It ain't easy being breezy, but she's breezy. And she said our other one was
figure skating, it says.
What event did we win there?
I don't know. It says team event gold.
Oh, so maybe it was a couples thing or something. I don't know our team, whatever it was. So 2 golds has always been we've been able to manufacture so far, but it's very early in the Olympics, as we know. It says the Wolves' lack of effort is a direct coaching issue. Chris French is correct saying these are professionals who motivate themselves. He's the one who fills out the starting lineup and determines playing time. The game is not too old that the bench is still not yet a motivator. I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't know. Maybe general managers would be all for benching your best players on the team. Maybe ownership would like that too. And do you really think that's going to motivate any of these guys? Really? if they're not motivated just by the love of the game and about pride in their work, professionalism, respect for the ticket buyers, the people that are the reason you're making the kind of money you're making is because people plunk down a lot of money to watch you play. They buy your jerseys. And because so many eyeballs are on television, those great, big, huge TV contracts are the reason they're there is because advertisers say, hey, we think this isn't that complicated. People, you're making it too complicated. So if you advertise Coke, ice cold Coca-Cola during an NBA game, and you have enough eyes on it, there are people that go, I think I'm going to go get myself an ice cold Coca-Cola. And then Coke says, you know what, it seems like ever since we started advertising during NBA games, we're selling more product. I think we'll stick with them. That's how you're getting paid. That's how you get your money. So don't you care about the sponsors, ownership, teammates, fans? We're supposed to this is all the coach's fault. Okay. So you think the next coach is so should they fight? Let's say he decides I'm not going to bench these guys, and then should he be fired and then let the next coach to the bench? I think it's all preposterous. I mean, maybe the benching would work. I guess you could try it. I'm not so sure. I just think
I think he knows the mentality of an NBA player, and when you start benching those guys, unfortunately in that sport you lose them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You lose them for good, and then the coach gets fired.
Well, and frankly, what we saw from the Wolves last year, they were a middling team. They were hanging around the play-in game for a good chunk of the season, barely snuck to 6, and got to the Western Conference Finals. And I think they now know, we can coast through the regular season.
Right.
Like, there's no threat of them missing the playoffs. There is a threat of them getting into a play-in game.
Right.
But they're not going to miss the playoffs. And I think it's the mentality of a lot of NBA teams and a lot of NBA players.
You're spot on. There's no question. You've nailed it there. And we've talked about it forever now. You're right. It's because we don't have to win every game. We can take time off. I understand if it was a 365-day-a-year schedule, but it's 82 games over 6 months. And you're already getting load management games. But that is exactly what it is. And you know what? And that's what I've said.
And Ant's the king of that mentality.
Yes. My guess is they'll make the playoffs, and they'll probably make it. They might even win. They have a puncher's chance. They might win the NBA championship. And then people will come back to me and say, what do you think of your Timberwolves now? And I'll say my mind hasn't changed at all. My opinion on how they respect their fans and approach the regular season hasn't changed at all in any way, shape, or form. It's just... it shouldn't be done. And look, it probably does happen around the league too, but I'm tired of hearing that. Just because it happens elsewhere doesn't mean you have to. You don't have to follow the leader. You do what's. Remember they talked about that meeting they had at the beginning of the year. Do we want to be the Harlem Globetrotters, or do we want to actually win a championship? Do we want to entertain, or do we want to name? They needed to have a meeting, by the way, to hash it out because they weren't sure how everybody was, if everybody's on the same page. I think some of them really do just want to entertain during the regular season. That's what they just is entertain. And I don't know, blowing games and not playing defenses. And that's why in the NFL, regardless of what you say, they're playing defense. Did you see last night's game? So good. Defense. There's no glory in playing defense. How about, who was the kid for New England that broke up like 5 different passes? You recall his name?
Oh, Christian Gonzalez.
How good is he?
At one point, because there was a stretch there where, let's face it, Seattle was going to win, but they didn't really have any obvious MVP candidates.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, why not give it to a guy on the losing team?
Yeah.
He was the best player on the field last night.
They've done well. I think Walker ended up being the most valuable player. I think Gonzalez was a close second.
Yeah.
But I think when you have 135 yards rushing or whatever it was, 100, when passing games were really limited, and the way he got his yards too, it looks like he's about to be stopped, and then all of a sudden he pushes forward. He's really good. He's jittery. I just like the way he played. And, yeah. So, but they played defense last night. And what did you say his name is Gonzalez?
Christian Gonzalez.
My gosh.
I believe he might have been a Purple Prey back in the day. I remember liking him a lot out of college.
Where do they find people like that? That kid can flat out play. So, yeah. It was really good. Here's a text message. The other alibi the local writers have been using this week is the Wolves team has a lot of moody personalities. I saw that. They can get moody and it affects them. Okay. It's a good excuse. USA scored, by the way.
Sounds like a talent on KFAN.
Wait, hold on. There's a lot of truth to that. By the way, the United States just scored, Tennessee. We're up
They did score, yes.
Yeah, we're up 1-0. Take a short break.
Ice is getting tilted.
Yeah, we'll take a short break. Come back with more after this here on The Fan.